Okay, hey, good morning or good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you're at, what time zone you're in. Uh, Greg here. Shop Soup, another recipe, another batch. I suppose that it's been a while. Why? It's been a while, and been busy, right? And that's what the kind of like talking about. Just now getting time to settle down, get back into the work groove. The new year, new goals, all that stuff going on, and trying to get over some things from 24, like we all are. And first 2 weeks, all right, New Year's, recalibrate, get back out there, and then the last 2 weeks of the year, I had the pleasure of really joining two groups that were they both kind of went to or help you with success, I suppose, in the business, but two different strategies, which was really cool because as a shop owner, as a business person, right, as a small business person, and one who's really curious about, well, okay, how to navigate through business and the effects of everything and what you do on one end versus where it's going to end up on the other. Is always I enjoy it. So it's great when I get a chance to get out, and I hadn't been out. Gosh, I haven't been out to see everybody in, I don't know. It seems like a few years. Seems like an eternity. People ask me all the time, "Where are you going to be here? Are you going to be there?" I'd love to, but just timing and you know, to be honest, just a little bit of selfishness. Where I just said, you know what, I'm going to lay low for a little bit. Get the stuff together. Things happening so fast that why add to the confusion. So pretty much it's what I did. But getting back out was great. I had an invite from Todd Hayes and Auto Shop Answers to come down. Todd Westerland included, and he was the one that brought the invitation to me. And for I guess for months, I guess as Todd's come on the scene, Todd Hayes that is in the Auto Shop Answers team, and formula and systems have come online, where we've gotten. I guess used to seeing Todd, or we got exposed to a lot was going on. It was that boom moment when all of a sudden we hear these incredible top of the line numbers coming at us, and we hear testimonials from some really good operators, and so the curiosity was there, but I never did have the time available to head down, and it just so happened that January 17th and the 19th, the event in January, I was able to head down on the invite from Todd and Todd. And I'm glad I did. It was exciting to be part of that group. And of course, Todd's energy seems to be unbounding. And that's something to really experience. But he's a go getter. And the processes that had witnessed, and not just myself, but with others, um, were, were truly on the side of hospitality. There's no question that from what I've seen, that good client care, um, which seems to be lacking, I suppose. Maybe not for every operator, that's a fact, but there's differences that we focus on. The numbers are one area, yes, but how do we achieve those numbers? Well, client care is one of them, hospitality, and I made it known, and I've shared these thoughts before. Is that over the decades of being in business, and why businesses succeed and how legacy is not only maintained, but legacy continues. It's because there has to be something innate with your business that people gravitate towards and they want more of, or they want the same, or the expectations are there. In any case, it really comes down to client care. That's my belief. I grew up with it, and I'll continue to say this until to whenever, till cows come home, as they say. But I I clearly would lose direction on how client care should be done and why it should be done. So the more I thought of myself, or think of myself as a technician or a mechanically structured operation with XYZ steps to follow, that's on the financial business side. But when it comes to client care, it's usually a kind of like anything necessary to make that client feel warm, accepted, and wanting to be part of. You want them to be part of your operations, and you want to be there for them. The times I would forget that is the times that I would fall on my ass, and not think and not really be as successful or feel good about business as much as I should. So what Todd and the auto shop answers delivered back to me, kind of confirmed back to me, was the fact of the things I was missing. You know, did I vacuum out a car? Did I wipe a window? Did I just do a simple, wipe down, clean the dash, that kind of a thing? Very minor. Did I present a small gift at the end of the transaction? Did I explain the transaction properly? Did I greet the client warmly when they came in? And I would say that giving my operation, I would say that maybe I'm a C plus or a B, or a B minus type situation. I'm not A game yet, where I hadn't been. And that kind of made me go back and say, all right, well, I have to focus on that. The other issues, or not issues, but the other dimensions of that operation and those processes are credible. The speed of service is absolutely something that I think all of us want to deliver, because we can say truthfully that time is money, and money loves speed. There's no doubt about that. So the only way to do that is to make sure that you are focused on efficiencies. And again, am I great at that? No. Am I good? Yeah. Could I be better? Absolutely. So all of these come into play on as a person, as an operator, as a business person. You should strive to be better in all of those areas, which again, I feel that I'm short on. So it was good to get down there and have a reconfirming situation that shows to me where I need to be in my operations in order for me to continue to grow and satisfy my clients the way they should be. Um, I'm no exception, right? I know that you all out there are thinking the same thing, doing the same thing, and I think it's important. I think we circle back on a couple of items, because they do matter. Whether you're pricing, um, you know, discount level services or whatever case may be, yeah, meet your client where they need to be. That's what it's all about, and give them that welcoming feel, because they too turn into clients and just not a sale, not a transaction. And that was really good to see. 3 days were there, and I tell you, I know that the Todds and that whole thing made a big deal out of it. And it was my birthday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so but they made me feel as warm as what their clients feel when dealing with them. There you go. They welcomed me with open arms. They celebrated with me. We had an amazing post weekend dinner with the Todds, Todd H, Todd W, along with a few others, especially Perry and Patty Adams, which were present at the dinner table. And it was good. It was good. It made you feel like, all right, I'd like to engage here. So there you go. They not only talk about what they do, they actually proved it to me on how they do it. Is it rapid pace? Yes. Is it different? Yes, to a certain degree. But again, um, these are all parts of what servicing a client should be. And as I quote often, you know, from Milton Hershey, business is the act of human service. Couldn't be any more true. That's what we're here for. And then, we wrapped up with that weekend in in Houston, and then I turned right around the next couple of days and went to the Elite Ignite uh, conference down in Dallas. So, I was a Texas boy for 2 weeks, and got to see a lot. So it was good. But you fall back on Elite, and I'm extremely proud to be part of Elite. I really do think that out of a lot of the coaching companies that are out there, and really, I don't like to say coaching companies. Consulting companies sound better to me. Um, there just seems to be something that I fit with, and others fit with other groups. You know. But I feel and have felt very comfortable with Elite, Darren Barney and his ways of following up from Bob Cooper, who I thought was just amazing as a leader. You can just see in Bob some of his practices. I mean, there was no wavering of anything, and that kind of discipline to me is kind of hard because I'm not truly a disciplinarian in a sense. More of giving you autonomy to let you trial and error some things until we, or us do reach a successful point and go from there. But Bob and a few others I met along my, professional path have always struck me as being that person where you look at and you go, damn, man, he's got his shit together in a way. You know what I mean? From detailed notes to the detail and dress, um, the regimen that they follow. There's mm, it's you can't deny it. You really can't. So Elite is bringing that to me, that discipline that I need in my business life, especially, and I share this openly, my distaste for numbers and financials, and my lack of wanting to pay attention to them past in the past. Not realizing, or actually realizing how important they are, but really never, forcing myself to pay attention and actually engage with the financials like I do now. I'm a little better. I'm not great. And where I will be in the future, whereas I think they're really important. And I'm really proud that I can say that I did join the Elite Pro Service Group, which I know these operators will be there to support. And with support comes a little bit of I guess, ass kicking. So I'll be prepared for that as well. But the Ignite conference was just filled with really awesome operators, friends and colleagues. Both of these uh, events, I met all the friends I see online and see some of you guys on Elites. There was a lot more there that were present. The room was an auditorium, and it was perfectly structured for the speakers that came down. It was like a symposium, like a college course. Uh, that environment just reeked of learning. In a sense, you had comfortable seats, great chairs, good views. You weren't on a flat surface. You weren't straining your neck. You had room to make your notes, and then you had your breakout sessions. Very well structured. Kudos to Darren and the Elite team for putting that together. And with Elite, um, the difference is that you learned how to create business in Houston and why you should, and then in Dallas with Elite, you learned where and how those numbers go. At least that's my take. And I hope I explain it the right way. But you know, Elite's purpose for me is to structure the business so that I do know that what my actions are to what my results are, and the explanation listen to me, the uh, the reason why the numbers are that they are and where they should be, expectations, that's what I'm trying to say, expectations of where these numbers should be and how we're reaching them. So it's not a one direction situation with business. We all know that. There's many avenues to success. There's many avenues to make a dollar. To make profit. There's many ways to take care of a client. But when the numbers become the numbers, and you look at what's going on, you really do need to know them. You need to know what they mean, how they got there, why they got there, and that gives you a course to go back to your methods of gaining business, and are they being fruitful enough for you to carry on your business and your legacy, make your payroll, all that. So the balance is there. And when it's like there could be another auto shop answers, there could be another method of doing business, there could be more of a retail knowledge. However, but when you bring it back, it all has to be 100% good for your company and your business. So that's where, to me, the second half of my conference travels got me to. And of course, being with Elite, it certainly is easy enough to follow their practice and methods. And I'm not out. Let me explain something for those who aren't part of either one. I'm not soliciting in no way. Um, it's just where I'm at in my journey and what I do. Because as a person who is curious about a lot of things with business and tech and all that stuff, I've constantly put myself on this line of knowledge, path to knowledge, where I want to learn as much as I can, because I'm just curious, and I believe it's what we all should be doing. So it was a great time being part of both and meeting the people behind the scenes a lot, and people that I didn't know, people that certainly I do know. Um, so it's kind of cool. And then kind of like circle through all this into just past week where um, you know I was in I was in New York, right? New York City. Took the wife and my son and his fiance up to a day, just a day in New York to see the play Wicked, which I had no knowledge what it was about, except it was the Wicked Witch of the West and the Oz story. But I didn't know the full story of how they're reinventing the persona or the idea of a nicer Wicked Witch of the West, or what her purpose really was. I didn't know any of that. Didn't want to. I just thought, you know what, a play on Broadway is something special. I mean, the theaters are amazing. The crowds, the New York City, the energy. If you've never been there, highly recommend it. And I'm not an expert on it, but I just really, really think it's cool to be in this huge, big city, right? But we had a great time. We took Amtrak up. It was wonderful. It really was great experience. And from us, for it's like 2 hours away via train. Um, Great seats, great time, amazing food, amazing good service. No matter where we went, we had good service. Uh, Two establishments that I highly can recommend. One is Mama's Pizza on the west side in Greenwich Village. Uh, the atmosphere was electric. And I don't know about you guys or what you think, but when you go into a business, I don't care what it is, do you not look at do you not feel the business side of things first? Like, okay, you look around and you say, well, they're organized in this way, or they can deliver this many pies because of this. So you take the analytical side before you start to take I guess the consumer side, like, hey, I just want a piece of pizza, man. Just give me a piece of pie, right? Me, I'm in there and I'm looking, okay, well, they got five people in the back. They've got two people cooking. They got three people making the pies. They got two at the counter, and they've got a guy who is just directing traffic and delivering the final goods. And then, well, yeah, they got the cashiers. So I'm thinking to myself, how is this organization producing such results? And you can tell they're organized. Everyone, they've got jobs structured, and so it's weird. Again, I don't know if I'm the only one that does it, but it's kind of weird. But it's just the way that I've been. Um, and then you start to realize why they are successful. The product is the answer. That's the product is what's really brings people back. And I can tell you that, man, you want a good pizza. I mean, a good pizza, you got to go to Mama's 2, I think it's called, right there in Greenwich Village. And they've got the traditional round pies, right? And the big New York slice, which is almost like you come down here, a New York slice is like this. And so is a regular pie down in Delaware. It's, it's a lot. And the squares and Neapolitan pie is just as big and thick. So it's quite an enjoyable lunch or a snack if you want. Fresh, good dough, just everything about it is excellent. So we wrap up there, and then we go to the show, get to the show. Subway service, decent, good. Love the technology, tap and go, ready to go, on time. Can't complain. I mean, outside of the people you meet in the subway, uh, sometimes questionable, or you look, but general in the daytime and normal operating hours, you don't have any problem. Um, could have been a little cleaner, but again, we're talking New York City, so you know, Penn Station was good, and I think it was Philly, but then you got the Moynihan, yeah, Penn Station Moynihan. That was renovated, really nice. So anyway, that's that. Dinner was pretty cool. I gotta say, man, we had reservations for Tony DiNapoli's right in the theater district, kind of like off Broadway, and didn't know what to expect. But what the heck? We walk in and it's packed. I mean, if you were walking in, you had a 3 hour wait, no joke, and you can see why, because the room was full. And we get there, and of course, glass of wine while we're waiting. Reservations. I go, hey, Buckley for 6:30. No problem, Mr. Buckley. We'll take care of you right away. You just might be about a little later than 6:30. We're running a little bit behind. Expectations set, no question. Didn't expect anything different. You can see the room was crowded. I understood. So off to the bar we went. Got around the drinks, sit, chit, chat. Right. Then we get finished one round, and it's getting around about 6:30. So I just go up to make my, get the attention again, and just make sure that, hey, we're following everything here. We're going to be okay, because they don't use beepers or anything digital or electronic to tell you that your table's ready. You're not going to get a buzzer or anything like that. So you stand close to the bar and the hostess desk so that you stay recognized. And that's what I was doing. Just go up and say, hey, we okay? She goes, yes, Mr. Buckley, we're good. Probably going to be about another 10 minutes past that time. I said, no problem. We're just here relaxing. No problem. I got a 9 o'clock train to catch. We're all good. So we're standing there and waiting for the table. And no more than 5 minutes beyond that, we get our table. The maitre d' comes up, guides us to our table. And we look on the I'm looking at the menu, which there are three large chalkboard menus placed around the restaurant and the dining area. And I notice that I see the prices, right? And chicken parmesan like $50. But then I go, wow, okay, $50 for chicken parm. Better be damn good chicken parm, right? I'm thinking, all right. So I start tabulating. What's this going to cost? The cost starts coming in. It really does, because I'm not fully understanding everything, right? I saw that on the board along with other menu items, and I'm reading and I'm looking. Is it $50, $40, $30 for this? This option is this, and all this other stuff. And I'm just going, okay, it's a day, whatever it takes. We're going to do it. We're here, right? We're not leaving. So I go, well, now my expectations are, all right, I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this, but I know it's going to hurt the wallet somewhere along the line. I'm going to have to pay up on this. So I start thinking, I don't know what, $400, $500, $600 for a dinner, drinks, and table for four in this restaurant off Broadway in New York City. So I'm going from, you like Mickey D money to now I'm talking 5-star joint, right? And I get a little not concerned, just it's in the back of my mind, right? Nothing a couple glasses of wine won't eliminate. So anyway, but what I failed to do initially was read the entire board. Now the board's large, but I looked at the price first and not the value. So the value of that $50, along with all of the other meals, was that at the top of the board, they said, keep in mind that these dinners serve 2 to 3 people. 2 to 3 people. And believe me, they are that large. So I said to myself, I said, wow, okay, so we're family style in a sense, and we have 4 people, but they say they can feed 3. So now the 4 of us are now juggling what we're going to order or how we're going to get through this meal, because each of us can't possibly order a meal or a dinner on our own, because it would be just, if you extrapolate all that, we could be talking 12 people. This dinner would feed 12. So we had to curl back, and we know we couldn't have appetizers, and even the wait staff said to us, don't order apps if you're not really hungry, especially with one. We had calamari, and we all enjoyed calamari. She goes, you're going to get so much calamari on the appetizer, and then you're going to get double that amount in your meal, because we were having a seafood linguine. I'm letting you know the menu, just not to get too personal, but just to let you know where we're at on all this thing. So we cut back. We had good advice, right? Good advice from a wait staff member who guided us through a brand new experience at their restaurant. I made it a point to let them know that this was our first time here. And the waitress was very accommodating. And the facial expression on her when I told her that was hilarious. She gave me one of those sarcastic, "Oh no, it's one of you" kind of looks, and I ran with it. We had a little bit of back and forth, but she was really cool. So it was first time there, and sure enough, when we didn't order salad, we just were nothing but the meal is what we ended up with. And I'm glad that we did, because it would have been way too much food that would have been wasted or we would have wasted money on. So good advice, great hospitality, all of that came together. And when we got our plates, my goodness, we had this small, not a, yeah, okay, a small table of four. Like we're crammed in there. It's New York, right? So they're going to stuff every person they can, and they make them comfortable. But not, you don't have a lot of room. There's not an extra room around. Your appetizer plates got to go off table, and your drinks. You finish one, you get rid of the glass. I mean, it has to be that way, or you just won't fit the food. But she brings out these large, I mean, incredibly large plates of food, and we start we start going through everything, and of course we're sharing what we all want, and before you know it, we're halfway through the plate, and we're done. I mean, literally, we no more. We can't eat anymore. And she came back. She goes, "You done?" I go, "Yeah, but I did get dessert," and I took that home. And so we ended up walking through New York City on the way home, taking at least I leftovers for lunch and dinner for the next day. But the value was there, and I got to tell you, it was very fairly priced. The happy hour, the bar, that that bill was half of what I spent at the theater for two people. No lie. I mean, I'll break it down to you. We're at the theater, nice little cocktail. I ordered a double of, what was it? Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark. Right? And I'm not talking like, super top shelf here. And a double was $38. Of course, my son wants one, so that's $76 plus tip for two drinks, right? Okay, so we're at the restaurant, and four drinks, two glasses of wine, uh, two cocktails, were $47. Unbelievable, but that's where you know what you're getting into. Anyway, full circle back to the 2 weekends, right? Hospitality, and then we get into the exceptional care, what it takes to win the customer over, the experience they have, and then for the business side, I look at how the operation is set up. Why is there continuity by team members? What are their roles? And of course, on the financial side, you can see where, hey, some places are going to be higher dollar than others because they have the experience. And let's face it, you're a captured audience in some situations. So all these elements come into play for any business. And I like to be able to, um, you know, understand all of it because I bring it back to my shops and I go, where am I short at? Again, what am I doing differently? What are thresholds that people, consumers, clients, will go to? You got to say to yourself, am I in the market? Am I out of the market? Do I offer my clients the same level of service that I experienced while I'm out? And I know that there's a difference between entertainment because you're out to give your money. You've just relinquished all discipline with your money. It really is. I mean, if you're out in New York City, expectations are, hey, it's going to cost me some, right? I understand that. I'm willing to do it because I want to have a great time. Now, do people say that with car repair? I want to spend my money. I want to spend thousands because do I believe in the car? Do I want the car? Do I need the car? No matter. What's my experience? What's my experience with Buckley's? What's my experience with you? So I don't know. I always say to myself, if you've never experienced 5 stars or you don't allow yourself to experience 5 stars, then how can you produce that 5 star experience for your clients? Or are you so afraid that you sell out of your own pocket or you build your business out of your own pocket? Um, no, I'm not trying to tell people how to run their business, but I'm just telling you what my experience is with all this stuff here. I like 5 star experiences. I like being able to say, hey, I'll have room service, please, and that kind of thing, and not be afraid to, let that go. but I want to give it as well because I think that there is some importance in you learning 5 stars and giving 5 stars. So anyway, haven't been on a while. Shop Soup. It's what it's about today. It's all about customer care, different ways of operating your business. As someone said, there's 2,400 colors, and that's how many ways you can run a business. Well, I think it's infinite ways to run a business, way to operate. But always, always, always go back to understanding that you're in the service business, and it's going to take that 100% attitude for client care to keep us all going. All right. All right. Well, look, I'm out. Go Birds. We're getting down to the Super Bowl time, and can't wait for the game to start. All right. Greg Buckley here, Shop Soup. Have yourself a great day, guys. All right. We'll talk to you soon. And I'm using Riverside. I will mention I'm learning this here. So we'll see how it all turns out. Thanks.